they want.
We will be previewing Jalen's Wolverines big game on Sunday, and we will also be joined by Maria Taylor. But we start with 16 trades went down in the NBA yesterday, and the only way to get to all of them is to keep it moving. If you want to discuss the trade, you say hit the brakes. If not, me and Method Man jump in the minivan and keep it moving. Jalen, the Heat have upgraded. Keep it moving or hit the brakes?
Hit the brakes.
The Heat acquired Victor Oladipo, sending Olynyk and others away. Jalen, what do you think this means in terms of their contention in the Eastern Conference?
I know substantial moves get made in the league after trade deadline when I make matter-of-fact statements. And the dance I was doing was Young Jock. Meet me in the trap. It's going down. It's going down. Hey, here's what I want to tell you, Jacoby. Kevin Durant hasn't played basketball in a long time.
Been a long time.
Giannis has looked terrific for the Bucks. The Celtics still trying to figure it out on the interior, and the Sixers didn't go get Kyle Lowry. What yesterday told me is that the Miami Heat are my favorite to not win the East.
Whoa! Whoa! The Miami Heat are your favorite to win the Eastern Conference above the Nets, above the Bucks, above the Sixers.
Yes, sir. And here's why. They didn't have to give up Tyler Hero, who was terrific in last night's game, or Duncan Robinson, who we know is one of the best catch and shoot players in the league. They're getting healthy. You see how they played with Jimmy and Bam. They added Ariza for defense and tenacity. And then you add Victor Oladipo in the final year of his contract? You don't think he's gonna be motivated to ball on a playoff team and be the difference against those squads we just talked about after the work he put in the Eastern Conference as a member of the Pacers? If I see KD back playing like Iceberg Slim and shooting trades from the suburbs, talk to me then. But
all right, you're
now,
gonna change your mind. You're gonna change your mind.
Right now,
I guarantee you're gonna walk this one back.
Miami Vice, baby. Miami Vice.
And another thing to keep an eye on is LaMarcus Aldridge has been rumored as someone who would potentially also join Victor Oladipo in joining the Miami Heat. We'll keep an eye on that. And Jalen, team in the Western Conference also tried to leapfrog themselves into contention yesterday. Of course, I'm talking about the Nuggets. Not only did they get JaVale McGee, they also got Aaron Gordon from the Magic. What impact will this have on the Western Conference standings?
The Hood tried to protect rap music. Even EPMD had a song called Keep the Crossover. Then it went mainstream, and of course everybody made more money, but then the art form got away from us. You know how much I love the Joker. And I'm just gonna tell everybody, don't come jumping on the bandwagon now, because this edition is now gonna put him in legit position, you ready for this? To win MVP this year.
Oh!
That's right, I said it. KD's been injured, Steph's injured, LeBron's now injured, Embiid's now injured. James Harden played his first 9 or so games in Houston. He's a legit part of the conversation. Dame Dollar is legitimate in this part of the conversation. Giannis is legit. However, if the Joker is throwing lobs to Aaron Gordon and JaVale McGee, I'm trying to tell you, ain't the Joker the only guy in the league to lead his team in basically every statistical category? I'm trying to tell you, when we look up at the end of the year, it's gonna be a 2-player race. The Joker and the Greek Freak for MVP.
So you think that the addition of Aaron Gordon and JaVale McGee really make him the front runner for the MVP? Do you say that because it will impact where they are in the standings? Because I think the MVP is going to come down to, because there's so many candidates, which team is highest in their conference. Do you think that Gordon has that kind of impact for this Nuggets team?
I'm about to do the Aaron Gordon revelation, and most people who don't get a chance to watch other than the 4 or 5 teams that get played on national TV and the other 5 or 6 players that get talked about on national media. Aaron Gordon is really good at basketball. He can defend multiple positions. He has an underrated handle. He's an improved 3-point shooter, and he's a fantastic, wonderful, amazing athlete. And when you're gonna introduce via your, that means that the paint is gonna be open for cutters, for slashers. That's what he does. JaVale McGee, where he's gonna be? Dunk spot, catching lobs, blocking shots, getting them out in transition. This is more assists. This improves Denver in the win column. Now the Nuggets have a legit chance to see one of their players win MVP this year.
Well, I think it's safe to say that the Orlando Magic do not have a player that's going to win MVP this year. They basically traded everybody. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
And didn't they start the season like 6-0 and 6-1 or something like that?
Yeah.
Keep it moving, man.
We'll keep it moving.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
The Lakers made news yesterday for their inactivity. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes on this one.
The Lakers did not acquire nor trade anybody yesterday. What do you think that means in terms of them in the buyout market?
Lakers healthy? I told you, I didn't think nobody could even take them 6 games. Maybe once, like last year in the finals. They won 6 games once. I'm gonna tell you a secret. I've been looking at the Lakers schedule. And without LeBron James, and potentially playing part of it without Anthony Davis, you know what's about to happen to the Lakers? They're about to slide in the Western Conference standings. And you know the lower you get, the tougher the road uphill is. And yes, again, they got LeBron. They got AD. And I'm not picking a team to beat them in the 7-game series. But I will say this. If the Lakers fall to the 6 or 7 seed, I'm taking the field. Something I wouldn't have done if those 2 guys hadn't got injured and they not made a move at the trade deadline.
Interesting. As you saw, they have one of the most difficult remaining schedules in the NBA, which means they could, as you suggested, slide in the standings. And we could have a Clippers-Lakers first-round series if they slide the way that you think they might. Moving on, the Raptors did something interesting. They kept Kyle Lowry. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
I'm not surprised that the Raptors kept Kyle Lowry. And a lot of people are going to blame Toronto, but it's up to the Sixers to get it done. It's up to somebody else to come grab Andre Drummond from the Cavs. Keep it moving for now.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
You mentioned the Sixers. They did not get Kyle Lowry. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes.
Did the Sixers, by not getting Kyle Lowry, just cost themselves a chance to win the Eastern Conference?
It was great to see Danny Green the way he was shooting the basketball last night. That was a revelation. You add George Hill. Now, both of those guys are career guys, especially the last few seasons, of 40% three-point shooting, and they both play D. So I'm not necessarily mad as everybody else about them not getting Kyle Lowry, but what I will say is the people that they have to go against at that position, the 2 guys that I mentioned, don't get offense off the dribble, which means Kyrie and James Harden resting on D. Means Drew Holiday and Middleton resting on D. It means Jalen Brown and Tatum resting on D. It means Jimmy Butler getting his chance to rest on D. So based on that, this is why I felt Kyle Lowry would have made them like pole position, neck and neck, flip a coin, 3-card Monty with 3 teams. For me, it would have been the Nets, the Heat, and the Sixers. But without adding him, I put them just a notch below. But this is why you sign Daryl Morey. This is why you bring in Doc Rivers, to try to make the over-the-top move. Let's see if the former Spurs, Green and Hill, can help the former Spur, Doc Rivers, get it done.
I was shocked that they did not acquire Kyle Lowry. I thought that he was a perfect fit for them, and I feel like this is a failure that did cost him a chance to win the Eastern Conference because they did not add Kyle Lowry that they needed. LaMarcus Aldridge has been bought out. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
You mentioned it earlier. He's likely to end up with the Miami Heat. They continue to be my favorite. Eric Spoelstra is my fantasy coach. Keep it moving for now.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
The Chicago Bulls have upgraded. They want to make the playoffs. They added Vucevic and Daniel Tice. What do you think about this Chicago team?
This is a breakthrough for one of my guys, Zach LaVine. I've been telling you this since he was out of college, Jacoby, is that the man is so extremely talented that if he's in the right situation at the right time, he could be an all-star. And oh wait, that happened this year. He was an all-star. And you know what the talk had been the last couple of years? why the Bulls are gonna move him for X player. And then all of a sudden, for the media and for fans, you guys only think that there are like 5 or 6 good basketball players or 5 or 6 successful people of all time that have like so many championship rings. Zach LaVine is an anchor player, and I'm happy that the Chicago Bulls have now invested in him, invested in Big Vucevic, and now you can bring the big fella on and talk about more Star Wars, right?
Yes, Vucevic is a noted Star Wars fanatic, and Jalen Rose has never seen Star Wars, which brings us to soft move or boss move. Evan Fournier was one of the Magic players that are no longer on the Magic. He joined the Celtics, and after the trade, this is the tweet that he put out on the internet, and I fell for it. He said, "Hi, Celtics fans. If you're not familiar with me, please Google my last name. You're welcome." So I Googled it. And what comes up? Something called Fournier gangrene. Fournier gangrene is an acute necrotic infection of the scrotum, penis, or perineum. It is characterized by scrotum pain and redness. Jalen Rose, making everybody tweet Fournier gangrene and Google it. Soft move or boss move?
I think that's a boss move. But those side effects you just told me, thank you, is all I have to say. Thank you.
All I have to say is I made the mistake of Googling this, and I saw a picture. And ooh, you want Fournier on your team. You do not want Fournier on your
Thank you,
body.
Thank you.
Let's
You are
go
far
to
too
break
kind.
before we get fired.